Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. I just thought I'd bring you along with this one. I went and collected it yesterday. It's a set of 3 drawers that comes with rather a large mirror attached to it. But before I fetched it, when I looked at the pictures, I didn't know it had been painted. I just thought it was the just the brown laminate stuff, because it's not wood. Nothing over here is wood, hardly ever anyway. So if I'd have known it had been painted like this brown gloss, I don't think I'd have bothered, because I just know it's going to be a pig to sand, and I've got to be careful because of obviously it's like the party board stuff, whatever you want to call it. So I've just had a look. You can take the mirror out, so I think we'll try the mirror first, sanding that down to see how what a pain it's going to be. If it's going to be too much of a pain, I might just relist it and get rid. Alright, so see you in a minute. Right then, the glass came out nice and easy, so I took that out. That's there. Oh dear, they've painted everywhere. I want to say everywhere, I mean everywhere. So I've sanded all that, I've took everything off. I'm going to take these off as well and throw them, because they've been, one, they're all painted up, and I think I've got enough to replace it, so I shall throw them. I've already took them off and sanded them and everything. So it's quite smooth. There was a lot of blow, and also, I mean, it's great dark colours, isn't it? It hides everything, because I didn't see any of that either until I started sanding. I think I need to go and get my eyes checked again, don't I? Right, I'll check how many of these things I've got, and then I'll take these off if we've got enough. Right, I managed to, I've got these out, so I've actually got 4 sets. So I thought, ooh, cream, not too bad. They're too long, so I'm going to have to get my Dremel out. I shall measure it and then chop all them off. So we'll come back when I've done all that, because it's really noisy. Alright. Right then, I've chopped them all down, so they'll all fit right now. So I should take all these old ones off. I won't put the new ones back on yet, because I'm going to have to paint all the drawers like they have done. So we'll have a look at what colour and what needs filling and what have you first. Right then, I've washed it all down again after sanding it and what have you. Took all them off now, so they're all ready, and I took those outside and sanded all the sides down as well. Cracker, why do people do things like this? I mean, I'm going to have to paint all that. It's a right mess inside, so I'll have to paper it, which I don't mind anyway. But, you know. Anyway, the only bit of damage was this corner, and it's obviously where one of those was on there and it's been caught and broke off. Right, so I followed your guidelines, what some of you have said, to pack it proud and everything else, and then sand it down. So we'll have a look how that turns out tomorrow, because it's quite late now, so I'm not bothering now, I'm done. And the only other thing that needed doing was some of the sticky had come up, so I've re-glued that back down. I'm going to use the same hardware, so I'm not going to bother filling the holes. But if this lot gets dry tonight, I might come out, give it a quick coat, and because it's going to want a couple of coats of the primer. But they're the handles that were on it, so I'll give them a clean, but I quite like those. They don't offend me or anything, so we'll pop those back on. Shall we have a look how dirty my water is? Yeah, that's bad, isn't it? Look at the state of my cloth. It's terrible, isn't it? Can you actually see? You can't, can you? I'm sure you get the gist, don't you, of how dirty it was. I mean, I know a lot of it will be the paint dust, but God, aren't some people disgusting. Anyway, we'll probably see you back tomorrow. Alright, guys? Right then. Sanded everything. It's now had 2 coats of the bin primer. So that's the mirror without the mirror. Ooh. And they're the drawers. That's the drawer base. And then they're the drawers. I've just given them a little bit extra more because they were bubbled, so I've had to sand them more. So if anything, that's where the bleed through will come through. So I've just given them 3 coats, them 2 top bits. So when it's dried, and that's all inside and everything, look, I shall put paper on the bottom. So I'm just going to give it another 20 minutes to dry. I'm going to nip to the shop and then we'll come back. I didn't want to go and get any paint, but I've only got, no, I know it needs stirring. Where's me? I didn't know that'd have green in. Did you know that brown would have? Mind you, yeah, of course it is, yeah. Darker. Can't tell, I don't know my colours very well. But this is like a, when you know on the lid it looked grey. That's why I brought it. But I don't just like that. I have used it for a project. I'll wipe that in a second. But I don't know if it's going to be a little bit too dark. Have a look what else we've got. I haven't got a lot in actually. I've got the grey again, the beachcomb grey. That's nearly a full tin. You wouldn't think so though by the state of the can, would you? That's my overtly olive. That's about empty. That's the blue. There's plenty of that. And there's plenty of this cream as well. But I don't really, you know, I'll show you. I don't really like it. I don't know. It was one I got made up and I thought it'd be really nice, but I don't think it is, you know. What did I paint in it? I can't even remember. But it doesn't seem, saying it's the Valspar furniture paint, it doesn't actually go on that well, and yet all these have gone on fantastic. I know I should keep it light. It's going to be that one, isn't it? Unless I pour some of that into there, so it's just like a slight. But then I could have cut that up if I don't like it. Oh dear. Or do I just do it grey? Should we mix some of this up and have a look? Because I don't like that colour. Let's pour some in. Christ, it's dead heavy, no? How much should we pour in, do we think? Enough? We can use that screwdriver now then, can't we? Alright, well if you look at the end and then look there ain't that much of a difference. Yeah, look, I've cocked some it up now. And I don't know if this is dry enough for me to pop a bit of paint on. Yeah, let's just pop a little bit on. Let me get a brush. A little one. I'm not like, well, I don't dislike it, and then that's it in the dark. I'll just put a little bit of that on. So it has actually made quite a big difference, hasn't it? Ooh, I'll have a think. I think it's going to be the grey though. I'm not sure I like it. I'll let you know. Right then, I went for the beachcomb grey. So I've given it all a coat. I'm glad I didn't go for that other colour. I don't think I'd have liked it. And I'm fed up of painting everything like 20 times this week. I've just done the mirror up there out the way to dry. Crikey, look at all that junk over there. Right. And then I've done the drawers as well. I can't believe how much better they're looking already. I really did regret buying them when I saw them. But I'm quite happy now. Is that some bloody... That's bubbling there, isn't it? Right. I'll have to wait for it to dry and have a look. Don't want it. But anyway, I can't do anything now for a bit, so we'll be back. Wow. What a nightmare. I obviously wasn't made for woodwork. 2 hours I've been putting those shelves back on and trying to get them lined up. My God, I mean, I went back straight into the holes that they'd had, and obviously the drawers didn't fit, and because they'd already took the drawers out when I got there, and I never thought to check. So obviously nothing lined up properly anyway. The top drawer does need dropping down a slight bit more, but I mean, here, look. It's pitch black outside. That's how long I've been out here. It's just me and my little lights. So my son come out messing about. I says, you best clear off. I says, because I'm really not in the mood. I says, I've been pissing about with this for I don't know how long. But I'm kind of happy. The top one just wants dropping down a little bit more. And then it's done. Christ, don't do this. Or get someone who knows what they're doing to do it for you. 2 hours. Unbelievable. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Right, I've been making some pretties. And I've actually left them in order this time. Are you pleased? I'm quite proud of myself actually. All in their own little piles. I don't think it's going to be enough, but who knows. But that's took me an hour and a half to do, so, you know, saves you having to sit watching it. And what I thought, because I always start like at the bottom and go up, I'm starting at the top this time. Ooh, finger. And I'm going to like bring some down around. Do you like the finger? No. So that's what I'm going to do for a change. So we'll get the tripod out and set you up, and I'll be back. Right then. As we know, I can't film both angles because I've only got one crappy little tablet. So, but you will see me putting bits on, which I think is better than seeing me picking them up, isn't it? So. Actually, let me pause you again. We're going to see if we can get a better view. Right then, I think that's a bit better. Oh, right. You can see me now, can't you? And see all the bits. So, like I say, I always like to start with a twig and then I start branching off from there. So, I don't have any way of doing it, I just pop things where I think I might like them. And all I'm using is Gorilla Wood glue. I always recommend that if you can lay things flat, to lay them flat, because as you've seen in previous videos, if you don't, you have to tape them because they have a mind of their own and decide to go walkabouts. So I always apply my moulds as well when they're wet. I don't do them when they're dry. I've tried it a couple of times when they're dry and it's not good at all. I tend to leave the leaves and everything until the end because they're good at filling in. So you don't need to go overboard with the glue, you don't need loads. You just want to make sure it's covered everywhere. And I like to just use a blade to split up where I'm joining. Oops. Wipe off any excess if you can. I mean, it doesn't overly matter, but you know, always looks better. And obviously while the clay's wet you can lift and place bits underneath and round and about and Doing this as well is really good for when you've got imperfections in your drawers. It covers a multitude of sins they do. Like there, we've got quite a lot of blown, so I'll put quite a bit of coverage all over there, and then it just helps to distract against what you can see. And I don't know why I do this, I never make enough twigs. Twigs are what I needed, aren't they, for everything? Suppose. Yeah. So I don't think I need it to come down any more than that, but I do want to fill in a lot more. So, like I say, I'm going to reuse the handles that are on. So a good tip to do is to place it there so you don't place a flower there, which I've also done quite a few times, getting all carried away. There's been a few lovely ladies that have been buying me coffees as well, which I really do appreciate. It helps me out more than you'd ever know. So thank you to those ladies. If anyone else can do it, it helps me keep going. Not that you have to, obviously. But it does help you go out, as to say. Right, I'm going to have to make some more twigs, but we can start putting a few leaves on. You'd be surprised what the difference adding leaves to it all does. That just brings everything together lovely. I'm just going to make a couple of more of the leaves, the sticks. I'll show you all the moulds I've used when I've finished. So I've just done a few more. I don't know where to put it. I'm going to have to stand up again to get the lock. Wow. Oh, this cripples my back. I don't like being stood at a weird angle. Jasper, that's just another sign of getting old, isn't it? and all I'm left with is 2 flowers, so you know I'm going to put them somewhere, don't we? Don't like leaving any left over. Alright, so where should I put my last one? It's either alright, so I'll pick you up and show you. Just wiping some of the glue off my hands. Alright, you haven't really been seen properly, have you? I do apologise. I'll take you now to have a look. If I can move you without your feet being seasick. But this is what I've done. Now we know that between now and when I come back there may be a load more added. Because that's just how I am. More is always better than less. But I'm seeing a few spots where I'd like to add more. The bottom the bottom drawer I really do like. And I like the top one. The middle one's looking a bit haphazard as such. So I might just do a couple more and slot them about. But don't it look pretty? I never get bored of doing this. And nothing ever looks the same, even though you're using the same flowers as such. And there's nothing wrong with mixing all your flowers up. I mean, I've used quite a few here today. If I stand you back up, I'll get them all for you. We'll have a look. Oops. Right, so this one is called Winter Blooms. Let me just make sure I'm stood right. Where do we need to be here? So this is called Winter Blooms, and as I've said before, I never ever clean out my moulds. I just put in flour, and as you've seen, they demould perfect every single time. But I like this one because this is my twigs I use, so I like it especially for them 3. But I have used that flour and that flour today, so that's one. Then this one is called the Wilderness Rose, and I've used the 2 little leaves, and I've used these 2 top flowers, not the leaf part, just the flowers. And again, this is a really nice one. And this one's called Fragrant Rose, and as you know, they're all by Prima. And I've used a few out of it. I've used the big rosebud, little rosebud, little dinky flower, and 2 of the roses. So like I say, you can use anything out of any of them. This one's called In the Garden, and I like that one especially for the 2 rosebuds, but I've also used that rose out of it as well. And then this one is called Etruscan Rose, and I've used these 2 roses. I did do a couple of those, but they were just too big, so I got rid of those. And this, if any, is the best one to get because it's called Leafy Blooms, and I've used that part of the leaf, I've used the bottom part of the leaf, I've used individual leaves, and then I've used that as a cluster as well. So if anything, that's a very good one to get. And then this is just one that I picked up from Hobbycraft, and it was in the cake section. And I've used these roses, and I've used these roses. Alright, so we're going to have to leave that now or to dry anyway. So I'll be back, and like I say, there may be a few more added. So we'll see you shortly. Right, I've just done the mirror, so you can see or not, can you? So I've done that in the bottom left corner, and then I've mirrored it up in the top right corner. Alright. And all I did, I did add a little bit extra on. I just added a couple of more of the roses, there and there. I think I added a leaf and that flower there. I think I added a couple of more leaves dotting about, and that was it. Just to fill it out that little bit more, and I'm quite happy with that now. There's like no gap as such. Alright. Right then, welcome back. It's the next day. I've just given her a coat of paint. I think she's turned out quite nice, hasn't she? And I've managed to cover all that bubble that I'd had to sand off at the bottom, on that bottom drawer, so that's really good. Pleased with that. No one has to know that that was even there now, do they? And I've also given the mirror a coat, so it's not quite dry enough. I think I need to leave it really till tomorrow before I build everything back up. I've still got to clean the glass, because that's got all the brown paint still all over it. Oh, who's that? Hello. Hello, little one. Hey. They only watch to see you, you know, Eleanor. Wait. Hey, listening? Hey? Now where are you going? They only watch to see you. But anyway, yeah, I think I'll leave it because we're putting a few coats of paint on. I want it to dry out, and obviously the weather's a bit crap for painting, isn't it? So my excuse to have the rest of the day off anyway. If I do anything else, I'll come back and show you. Right then, I've put the handles back on and I've attached the mirror again. What do we think? I think it's certainly different to what it was before, isn't it? I think I might, while we're going a bit blurry, because it's a mirror. So I've cleaned all the mirror, got all the old paint off and what have you. So I think I might get some of the my pearl medium and just lightly go over it just to bring out the flowers a little bit. Do we think? So I'll just put you down and then we'll come back. Right, as we know, all I use is that, which is the Artiste acrylic paint in pearl medium. And if you followed me for a while, then you'll know that I use this quite a lot. But if not, all I do is squeeze a bit, oops, not quite that much, pop a little bit on my finger and just go over all the detailing, and it just gives it this lovely like pearl sheen to it. It doesn't give you Eleanor, does it? Hey, what are you doing? You're standing in front of everybody, are you? Hey. How can you climb on my knee? Hey. You are, aren't you? Just because I'm sat on the floor doesn't mean I'm your chair. Oh dear, I think we're running out of this. Where? Crikey. Come on then. Come on then. On you. Come on then. I can't touch you. I've got the paint on there. Yeah. Happy now, are you? Happy now, are you? and you can put on as much or as little as you like. I just like to go over the top so it just highlights some of the detail. Oops, far too much there. I'll come back when I've finished it all. Right, and as you can see, what a big difference it makes. It's got to be the best thing that I've ever found. I mean, when you look at that to that, I mean, it really just picks out everything, if you can kind of see what I mean. I haven't got a lot of room, but how much prettier it looks. So I'm just going to do the top bit and then we'll have a look. Right then, so I've just highlighted those as well. So what do we think? I'm really quite pleased with that. I mean, when you think what they looked like before, which was nice, but just adding that pearl detail, that pearl paint, really does just give them a delicate shine. And again, what a pig those drawers were. But I painted all of them all the way round, and then I've put some paper in the bottom because they really were crap. And like I say, it's all got the new rails on. I know the colour doesn't match, but at least they know when they haven't got brown paint on them. And they run nicely, she says. But yeah, let me see if I can, I'm going to have to open the door so you can see a step back view of it all. Crikey, there. So it's quite an impressive piece now, isn't it? And I think that'll look nice. You could either have that in your hallway somewhere as like an entryway kind of design, or in your bedroom. And it's nice and neutral in grey. So, but you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments box below. And I hope you liked and subscribe. And like I say, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, that 60% of you that watch my videos still aren't subscribed. So if you could do that, it really does help me out. And it's, as they all say, it's free to do so. And yeah, it makes a big difference to my channel. And if anybody else would like to buy me a coffee, then I'll leave the link in the description box below as well. And thank you to the ladies that have already bought me one. Like I say, it really does help me, because it's only me with my little conservatory. But anyway, I hope you liked it. Take care guys, see you in the next one. Bye for now.